gentlemen, put your hands together. To you. This is Sri Lanka World 2020.
I have a small request. As per the Mrs. World Inc., there's a rule that you all have to be married and not divorced. So, I'm taking my first step saying that the crown goes to the first runner-up.
Oh, she's like, okay, she's actually like snatching it off of her head. I like it.
What's happening? What the hell?
There's pins in the crowd, yo.
Oh, okay.
So they already had that pin to her head and everything. And then just put it on the next girl. The next girl was there bawling her eyes out. Didn't give two shits. That's crazy. And then she just stormed off like that. That's crazy. So Miss Sri Lanka World Festival is what you're watching, ladies and gentlemen. And what you just witnessed was Miss World, who was the former Miss Sri Lanka. Miss World came out after announcing who the winner was, and decided to snatch the crown off of that person and put it on the runner-up. And the reason that she decided to do that was apparently there's a rule where you gotta be married. You can't be divorced.
Mm-hmm.
So this happened actually like a few days ago. This was a thing that happened a few days ago. I saw it. I'm not sure if you saw it too, but I thought it was hilarious. But there's been a development. Go ahead.
No, please go ahead. What's the development?
So Miss World has been arrested and charged for assault because when she was trying to yank that crown off, as you could see in the video,
right,
it was pulling the girl's hair. And she's like, ow, like there's pins in this thing. Like, why are you so aggressively trying to get this off of my head?
So she charged her for assault.
Well, listen, she asked her for an apology. She said, Miss World, all I want is an apology for what you did. And Miss World said, no. So then she said, all right, cool. You don't want to give me an apology, then I got to do what I got to do. And she went and she filed charges. And
this is just a bitter Betty. Like, why are you being so bitter? First of all, I'm not going to speak to a different culture. You know what I mean? If that's their thing, if that's one of their rules, that's their rules, so be it. All I know is that girl ran off the stage and she looked shattered. And first of all,
was devastating.
And first of all, this is a rule that I'm pretty sure she knew, because this is a big stage, it's a major stage. This is not something that this is not a community beauty pageant. You know what I mean? You got a team around you. So the team knew all the rules. So what, did they think that they weren't going to find out?
No, but here's the joke. Come to find out, she is married. She's just legally separated.
So she's
just not with the guy. She's not divorced.
So again,
they're still married.
Again, not going to speak to their culture, because divorce, separated, for all we know, it could be the same. I mean, clearly it is. They took the crown. So I'm not going to speak to that. All I know is that team dropped the ball because they put her in that situation. The whole program could have ended. She could have walked out, had a great night with the crown. Eventually, she was going to be giving that crown back. It was going to happen. She should have never even been in the competition, period. But what I will say is she's 100% bitter. The girl took the crown off your head. What is she supposed to do? Every single beauty pageant I've ever seen, and I'm sad to say I've watched quite a few. I'm married. What do you want from me? Dre's watching them. I don't know. But
I did this for you. Because like every time we're off air, you always mention, "Yo, Dre, have you heard about the latest Miss Venezuela?" And
okay, so you're catching up. Okay, all right, fair enough.
So I was just like, okay, this guy, let's put it out here.
Appreciate it. But every single pageant I've ever seen, the person who's losing the crown, and it's very rare, but the person who loses the crown, they don't take the crown off themselves. Somebody dethrones them. Somebody takes the crown off. So this is normal. And if there's pins in the person's hair, this is, I'm assuming, live TV. What do you want them to do? You know, she tried to take it out. And so now, because she didn't apologize for what? Doing my job? You want to charge me?
Yo, weren't you listening to what she said? I'm going to take it upon myself, was what she said. I'm going to take it upon myself to name the winner, the runner-up. Ain't nobody tell her to do any of that stuff, homie. Not one person came on a headset and said that you needed to do it. She did that all on her own.
Yeah.
That's what the problem is.
Somebody has to do it.
That's what the problem is. Okay. If nobody told her that, and this girl went and won, and she took it upon herself to come and bring that up, she's a hater. Let's stop this foolishness. She's a hater. I don't know what her problem was with that girl, or maybe she had a friendship with the next girl, or something was going on. Something was going on behind the scenes, because this don't make no sense.
Speculation.
The only time you have people who are rule sticklers like that, you're either if they're sore losers, which she can't be because she's Miss World, or they're hating on the person that won.
So
that's the only time you have it.
So I don't understand. How is Miss World hating on the person with the lesser title?
Because she's the one who decided to learn about this girl's life. She's just the host, family. Why does she know about the depth of this girl's
clearly
life?
Look, I didn't watch this. I don't know anything about the inner workings, but somebody obviously clearly told her in that little headset, hey, this girl ain't married. We're going to have to take this crown back.
Doggy, nobody told her, man. Nobody told her. How do you know? That's why she's getting all these charges and all this stuff, man. That's why.
You just said she was getting the charges because she took the crown off.
Because of how she aggressively tried to take it off and all that stuff. Yes, that is what she's being charged for. But if those actions came as a result of some other information that the company gave her, that would be totally different. She took it upon herself to do this. The company even said we didn't tell her to do this. She didn't want to apologize. She just said, as you said, it's the rules. Why am I going to apologize? She knows there's pins in there. She's worn the crown before as well. Let's be real.
That does not look aggressive. That is a person struggling with pins. What are we talking about?
She knew the pins was in there, bro. You don't have enough hair to talk about what's painful, okay? What's not painful. You need some more hair on your head.
Must I show you my 1999 school ID? All the way down in here. Anyways, listen, this is a bitter Betty. All right, you need to get over yourself. You lost for whatever reason. Your team let you down. You should have never been on that stage in the first place. If you want to know my opinion, because your team should have vetted the situation. You should have never been there in the first place. You want to be mad at anybody? Be mad at your team. You should be charging them. Okay, charging them for what? I don't know. What you charging Miss World for? You're just angry. You're vexed, which is fine. Be mad. But now you just look bitter to everybody else. And Dre clearly wants to date you because he's standing up for you for absolutely no other reason.
Hey, yo, brown women are some of the most beautiful women in the world.
Yeah, I know this.
So
I'm quite aware. But
I don't want to date her, but yeah.
Viewing public, what are your thoughts here? Is she angry? Does she have a right to charge someone for taking something off their head? Am I missing something here? Like I said, I didn't watch it, and I do think it's crazy that you need to be married, but to win this thing. But hey, again, I respect your culture. Pageant. I respect your culture. If that's how it's got to be, that's how it's got to be. Leave it in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Philippines, man. I've been telling you the Philippines is crazy with their COVID-19 and the way they enforce their restrictions. So the Philippines right now, the numbers are super high, and they don't play games. So apparently, this gentleman was out and about past the lockdown time. Police seen him, and one of their measures to deter people from being out past lockdown is physical exercise.
Wow.
So they forced this guy to do 300 squats.
300 squats.
300 squats. He did 300 squats, Dre. He convulsed and died. He broke out into convulsions and he died.
How old was this guy?
28, 29. So, the mayor's looking into it. They said the police that were involved, they're going to be, if proven guilty, they're going to be charged administratively. So, I guess time off, or call it what it is, time off, right. or criminally. But yeah, 300 squats. Now, I wanted to point this story out just because it's a little bizarre, and rest in peace to that guy. Condolences to his family. But I mean, to somebody who just works out on a regular basis, that might not be anything. So I guess my question is 300 squats just the regular for anyone? Or do they look at someone and they're like, you look like you could only do 30, so we're going to add another 0 to that. You know what I mean? Because no, I'm just saying, like, we're talking about protocol, right? We're talking about, remember, somebody died. As odd as the situation is, somebody died at the hands of the police. So if the book is 300 squats, period, no matter who it is, I'm just following procedure. But if there's no, you know what I mean? If it's a gray area where it's just like you got to force physical exercise on a person, then that could be excessive force. Imagine seeing, I'm not saying he was overweight, but imagine seeing an overweight person and then saying, hey, you're violating our curfew, 300 squats. You're killing that person.
Right.
You're killing them. You know what I'm saying? So that's,
I mean, I don't know. This one's tough because 300 squats is a lot of squats no matter who you are. It doesn't matter who you are. 300 squats is going to be a lot for anybody. But to die and be 28 and off of 300 squats, that guy was not healthy. I mean, did they give him? I don't even know how they made him do it because if you can't physically do a squat, they can't force you to do one. So
300. Yeah, he was 28 years old,
breaks.
Bro.
I'm assuming there was breaks in between.
They said,
I don't know how to feel. I don't know how to feel.
So the quote
should
here
have been in better shape.
The quote here is, he was stopped by the police. They told him to do pumping exercises 100 times, according to the police report. So again and again, resulting in 300 squats. So he started to convulse on Saturday. This is what the family was saying, but they were able to revive him at home. Then his body failed, so we revived him again, but he was already comatose, his family said. And then he passed away at 10 o'clock. So it's saying that more than 819,000 COVID-19 infections and 14,000 COVID-19 related deaths, according to Hopkins University. So COVID is running rampant in the Philippines. So, and you know, I don't know if President Duterte is still running the show over there, but that dude's crazy anyways.
Right.
You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know, man. So viewing public, what are your thoughts here? Like, this is a little unorthodox, you know, but I honestly don't know how to feel about this.
I really don't know how to feel about this.
I really don't. But I guess that's why we have a comment section. Let us know what you guys think. 300 squats, a little excessive? I think so.
I don't think it's a lot. I just think he was out of shape, but I mean, let's see how people.
But this is what I'm saying, though. If it's not in the book, like this is what you have to for everyone, okay, then it's regardless of what your physical condition is. I guess you shouldn't have been outside past curfew. But if there's no number and then you see a person who's out of shape and you're just like I said, you look like you could do 30, let's add a 0, that's excessive.
Well, this is and because it's the Philippines too, I don't know how their laws work. Because I know in most places the laws would work. It's the same law for every single person. Everybody gets the same punishment for the same crime. But like you said, this is the Philippines, man. So they could. I don't know how it works down there.
Leave it in the comments, man. Seriously, especially if you are from the Philippines, please let us know what is the deal.
Day 9, Derek Chauvin trial. Keeping you updated, and here we are. As we are filming this, the latest person that was on the stand was actually the star witness for the prosecution. And his name, let me see, I wrote it down here. Dr. Martin Tobin. And Dr. Martin Tobin has 46 years of experience. He's a doctor who specializes in pulmonary and critical care. And he specifically researches breathing. So his focus is inhale, exhale, pretty much. Long story short. So the reason why he was the star witness is because his testimony pretty much ripped into the defense's claim that drugs was the reason that Derek Chauvin died. So the first thing that they did was they asked him, you know, in his expert opinion, 46 years, why did he believe that Derek Chauvin passed away? And he said, based on his research and everything that he looked at, which he looked at the video of the positioning of Derek Chauvin's knees 900 from different angles 900 times, and they did a 3D model and everything like that. based on his thing, it was a lack of oxygen that was the cause of death for George Floyd. So then they said, well, what caused the lack of oxygen? What exactly was it about the lack of oxygen? And Dr. Martin Tobin let them know that it was the shallow breaths. So at one point he was taking shallow breaths, and the shallow breaths didn't allow enough oxygen to enter his system, get to the lungs, and do everything that they needed to do to keep the system going properly. So at some point somebody caused them to breathe these shallow breaths, is what they said. And that was what led to it, and led to what was called a PEA, which is another word for just having an irregular heartbeat. Your heartbeat starts slowing down and starts beating all weird, and that usually leads to different brain functions failing and all type of stuff like that. So they next asked him, what do you think caused the shallow breaths? He goes, well, George Floyd was in a prone position with his hands handcuffed behind his back, and there was a knee on his neck. Not only was there a knee on his neck, but there was a knee on his neck for 90% of the time. Even though you see in the video that Derek Chauvin kind of moves around, the doctor said that he looked at that video multiple times, and 90% of the time, Derek Chauvin's knee remained on George Floyd's neck, regardless of what the situation was. So, he laid out his terms for what he thought the cause of death was, which is great. But all of that is his expert opinion. None of that can be backed up by anything. It's just what he thinks based on his experience, which, I mean, at the end of the day, 46 years of experience is something hard to discredit. But it is just an opinion. So the prosecution, in a very, very smart move, knew that they had to prove this and had to show the jury that this was something that the average person, if they had undergone it as well, would have succumbed to the same type of injury or the same result. So this is when they got Dr. Martin Tobin to bring the science side out of this, which I thought this was a really good play. They brought out some charts, and he explained how oxygen, inhaling and exhaling oxygen, kind of allows the system to operate, and what exactly is happening when you breathe in and when you breathe out, and why you need full breaths and all that type of stuff. In the chart, though, essentially, if we showed you the chart, you wouldn't understand it. So I'm just going to explain it to you. It said pretty much that Derek Chauvin's knee was on George Floyd's neck for 3 minutes and 25 seconds past the point where George Floyd was at 0% oxygen in his body.
Right.
And this is something that could be scientifically proven just based on the pressure, the breathing pattern of a normal human being. It's something that can be calculated. It's not something that can be disproven, right? So he proved that out. But what was the main thing, the main crutch where they kind of just knocked him in the face? Because, as I said, the defense's claim was that it was drugs that ended up killing this man. They asked the man directly. They said, in your opinion and based on your studies, if a healthy person had a knee on their neck for 9.5 minutes, do you think they would have survived? And his answer was very blunt. I'm paraphrasing the question and the answer, of course, but his answer was very blunt. He said, listen, no healthy person would have been able to survive that 9.5 minutes with that much pressure on their neck for that long. Anybody would have been at 0% oxygen at that time. So that is the main thing that came out of day 9. Of course, the defense didn't cross-examine. I don't know if they're going to wait till tomorrow.
No.
I don't know. They're not going to cross-examine everybody, because some people just, what's the point? You know what I mean? If they have their own case, I guess they're going to provide that. But we're going to have to see what happens on day 10. But day 9, baby.
Look, let me jump in here super quickly. That right there is paints the picture, because what the good doctor is saying is, if you hold your breath for a certain amount of time, your body's going to do what? Fight for oxygen. Now let's just say you set up a situation where your body, as much as it wants to fight for oxygen, it cannot get oxygen. What's going to happen? You're probably going to pass out and then eventually die, because your body needs oxygen. So remove the knee from the neck. Dre, if I strangle you with my hands, I'm strangling you. You're not getting oxygen. Would those things not happen in that order? You'd be fighting because you want air, right?
Right.
Hands around your neck, not getting air. Eventually, you're gonna pass out, right? If my hands stay around your neck and there's no, you're gonna die. And you're
no blood, no oxygen.
And you're a healthy person. So that's why his testimony is so effective. Because if you just think about it with common sense, drugs or not, if you stop oxygen from going into someone's lungs,
right,
well, that's the end of the show. The only thing here is it wasn't hands, it wasn't a rope around the neck, it was a knee. So by the doctor kind of explaining that the way he did, it kind of spells it out like, ding, oh yeah, right. I forgot. Who can really hold their breath for almost 10 minutes? You in public, give it a try. Leave it in the comments. Let me know how long you can go.
I want to commend the prosecution on this, on the order of which they did their questions, the clarity of how they made the situation, because that's exactly what he did. You know what I mean? They outlined what he thought the cause of death was. He said everything, and then the key point was that Derek Chauvin's knee was on the neck for 90% of the time, and lack of oxygen. And then you add how long it was on there on top of it, and how long a normal human could survive in that situation. So,
this is the easy. All you got to do is bring in the perfect specimen. Better yet, bring in a diver. Bring in like a free swimming diver, and be like, let's run the clock. This is what you do for a living. You're the best at it. You don't use an oxygen tank. You just hold your breath and you go.
Right.
Let's test that theory out. Let's see how long you can hold your breath, sir. If you could do it past 10 minutes, we might have an O.J. Simpson situation where the glove didn't fit and we just messed up. But I highly doubt that. What do we? Anyways,
that would be smart to do on the closing arguments.
Just get the whole jury. Get the whole jury.
How long they can hold their
breath.
Hold
your breath.
Oh my God!
Just hold your breath. Let me know how long you can go for.
I hope the prosecution sees this and they pull that, man.
Just hold your breath.
You are future. You're Cleo's nephew if that happens.
Oh my goodness.
That's smart.
Smart. Thank you again for updating us on that. I feel like I don't even gotta watch it. I just gotta listen to you talk. But
thank you for being a part of it. Thank you for always joining.
Viewing public, man. What are your thoughts here? And seriously, hold your breath. Let me know how long you can hold your breath for. And then anyways. Rest in peace to George Floyd, and our condolences go out to his family, and I hope you guys get the justice that you are seeking. Adeuces. Thank you guys so much for watching that video. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe.
Yo, Chris, we got to 200 subscribers, man.
Finally.
You know what I'm saying? But we don't want to stop there. We have a new goal. The new goal is 500 subscribers. So what I need you to do, I need you to like these videos over here. I need you to subscribe right here, man. Two guys doing the podcast, man.